I'm Martina McBride. Welcome to the iHeart Red Barn Sessions, presented by Country Crock. We're bringing country music back to where it all began, in a place kind of like this, the actual country. We're here in a beautiful old red barn in the countryside to talk about country music, where it came from, what it means to us as country artists, and how it's kept us inspired. And I cannot wait to show you who I'm talking with. I'm here with Jimmie Allen. So you're from Delaware.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about Delaware, really. Like, I've been there a couple times. What was it like growing up in Delaware?
Well, see, Delaware, you have two parts to it. Well, three. You have up north Delaware, like Wilmington, which is close to Philly, so that's like the city. Then you have the beach area, like Rehoboth Beach, Dewey Beach. And about 20 minutes north of that, between Lewis Beach and pretty much Dover, it's just nothing. And I was like, oh. The rest of the world is not like this. This is an interesting place. I remember my band there, two are from Tennessee, one's from Georgia, and I took them there. They were like, this place is way more country than where we came from. Speed limit's like 25.
Really?
Yeah, we just got a grocery store.
Yeah.
Before we used to shop on King Cole Farm, but now we got a real grocery store, we got traffic lights, we're really doing it.
How do you think being from there influenced your music?
So like growing up, all my dad listened to was country music. Like his favorite artist of all time was Aaron Tippett. He loves Aaron. So we grew up listening. My dad just listened to like traditional country music, like 90s, late 90s, 2000s, like early 2000s, and all my mom listened to was like Christian music. So like anything on TBN, from the Gaithers to Mike Perkey. So that played a heavy influence. And I got older, I got into like rock and hip hop and R&B, and I kind of got to a point where I just started like mixing a bunch of different genres, to where when I create music now, it's like, it's not really a box. Like I don't say I'm gonna write a country song today or I'm gonna write a rock song today. I'm just gonna write a song and let people label it how they want to label it.
Yeah, that's so cool. When did you decide you want to move to Nashville from Delaware?
I moved here in 2007, August 12th, so about 2 days before that. I was like, I'm going.
Really?
Literally just packed up my car, had $21 in my bank account, and just drove down. It was cool. I knew a guy that his wife worked at this gym, and I started working there in the snack bar. That's how I met T-Roy, Rodney Atkins, Aaron Benward, Brady Seals. Like all those dudes were like working out at the gym. And I was like making their shakes and making their sandwiches and stuff like that. So we became friends through that, and just was like, it's time to go. So I just moved to Nashville.
What do you feel like has been the most rewarding thing about this career, and what has been the most challenging?
I think there's two things I think is the most rewarding. The first one is I get a chance to provide for my family doing something I love. And it shows, my kids, hey, if you work hard, you're good to people, you keep trying, keep networking, eventually you'll get an opportunity. Another thing I think is great is meeting people. I feel like there's so much that, as an artist, sometimes we always feel like it's our job to entertain and give them something that they can move on and apply to their lives, and that's great. But I learned so much from people that listen to my music as well.
They give you so much.
They give you so much. The letters they write, the DMs you get on Instagram. Sometimes I'm sure you felt it, where you feel like, why am I doing this? Does it even matter? Does anybody care? Then you'll get a message from somebody that tells you why your music matters, and you're like, okay,
that's the best.
I get it.
Well, I've always said I feel like country music is a living, breathing thing. It's always going to evolve and change, and it's like the country music of the 50s is not the same as the country music of the 60s, 70s, 80s, and all.
That was rock and roll and blues back then.
Yeah.
And it's so, I remember I was talking to T-Roy before he passed. He was like, when MG first started, he said people were saying we were a rock band. Now, when you think Montgomery Gentry, you think traditional country. I feel like country's finding a space with other genres to where there's different styles of that genre. Because no matter how pop you might think a Sam Hunt song is, you put Sam Hunt song next to a top 40 pop song, you quickly realize that's not a pop song.
Exactly. I think, a lot of it is this, it's as long as it kind of has a storytelling aspect, or people can relate to it in their real life. Yeah. That's what I think country.
And it's influences, because somebody was like, why don't you do some stuff like George Strait? I was like, man, I love George Strait, but I said, I didn't grow up listening to the same music George Strait did.
Who were some of your influences?
Man, I was listening to George Strait. I was listening to you. I was listening to Aaron Tippett. I was listening to Alan Jackson, but I was also listening to Tupac, Biggie, Matchbox 20, Hootie and the Blowfish, Prince, Michael Jackson, you know, so it's so many different things, and we had more access to music when I was a kid than when George Strait was. So it's like, if it wasn't on the radio or someone in his family didn't have the, I don't know if it was a record or an 8-track or cardboard, I don't know what it was back then. But if they didn't have it, you didn't hear it. But now you have so much access to music, you know, people's playlist and whatever they're listening to isn't really spot on with a specific genre. You know what I mean? It can go from, I'll go from Toby Mac to Keith Urban to Jay-Z to Hillsong. It's just, I tell people, don't overthink it. It's just music.
Well, I'm glad that you're in country music.
And
congratulations on your CMA nomination.
Thank you so much. I have what you call nominee's remorse.
What's that?
I was happy to be nominated, but then I start thinking about all the people that work just as hard as I do that didn't get nominated. You know, that's automatically where my brain goes. There's no saying that I worked harder than the other nominees or they worked harder than me. It's like somebody's gonna win, but at the end of the day, the reward is we get to do what we love for a living.
There's a saying, I'm probably gonna mess it up, but I love this idea of when a candle lights another candle, its flame does not dim.
Exactly.
Right? So that's a beautiful thought to end on, and thank you for being here today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah.